Welcome back to the deep dive.
Okay, so you know that feeling you're staring at this wall of dental products, right?
Right.
And they all promise the world, basically. A brighter smile, perfect health.
It's overwhelming.
Totally. Well, today we're zeroing in on one that's been making some waves. The MSDRY-SP-6 Whitening Toothpaste.
Ah, yes, that one. Seen quite a bit of buzz around it.
Exactly. So our mission today is to really unpack a big review from the Learn Vault YouTube channel. They asked the question straight up, is this stuff legit or is it just, hype?
A necessary question these days.
Definitely. We'll get into the claims, what users are saying, the good and the bad, and some pretty important questions about what's actually in it.
And that's so important, isn't it? Understanding what we're actually using. In such a crowded market, being informed, well, it's everything.
Okay, so let's dive right in. What does this MSDRY-SP6 toothpaste say it does? The review highlighted its main
The
promises.
big ones, yeah. Right. Teeth whitening, obviously. But also fighting cavities and, boosting your overall oral health. They talk about an advanced formula.
That term, advanced formula, pops up a lot. It sounds good, but what does it actually mean, usually?
Well, the review didn't specify exactly for this product, which we'll get to, but generally advanced implies maybe newer whitening agents, perhaps. Things that aren't just scrubbing the surface.
Exactly. It could mean things like PP, which is meant to be gentler than peroxide, or maybe certain enzymes, or even just different types of silica for polishing.
Right. Without the specifics, it's hard to know how advanced.
Precisely. Leaves you guessing.
But it seems like for a lot of people, these claims, well, they hit home. The LearnVault review mentioned plenty of users felt their teeth looked brighter.
Mm-hmm.
And they felt cleaner, too. So you can see why people would think, okay, this might actually be a good daily option.
Oh, absolutely. The appeal of a multitasker is huge. One tube that whitens and protects, that simplifies things.
It really does.
And those initial positive reports, feeling cleaner, maybe seeing a little brightness that's powerful feedback, it feels like it's working.
But does that feeling always match up with, say, long-term results or actual health benefits?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Sometimes that initial buzz, the feeling of newness, can make us think something's working wonders. The placebo effect is real, even with toothpaste.
Interesting. Okay, so the initial reception was positive for many, but the LearnVault review didn't stop there.
No, usually there's another side to the story.
Right, and this is where we need to look a bit closer because they flag some pretty significant concerns, too.
Okay. Like what specifically?
Well, for starters, a bunch of users apparently saw nothing, no whitening effect at all, which is, a primary claim.
Right, that undermines the main selling point for many.
Exactly. And maybe more worrying, some people actually reported irritation or increased sensitivity after using it.
Ooh, okay. That's definitely a red flag. Irritation or sensitivity isn't something you just ignore. No kidding. And that variability, why it works great for some and causes problems for others, that points to how different our bodies, our mouths, really are.
Can you elaborate on that? Why would one person be fine and another get sensitivity?
Sure. Well, it could be ingredients like SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate. It's common, makes foam, but it can irritate some people's mouths, maybe even trigger canker sores.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah. Or if there are whitening agents, even gentle ones, they might still cause sensitivity if someone's enamel is thin or if they have receding gums.
Ah, okay.
And then there's your unique oral microbiome, all the bacteria in your mouth. Introduce something new, and some people's microbiomes react badly. It could cause discomfort or maybe even affect how well the product seems to work. So yeah, it's complex. One size rarely fits all.
That makes sense. And adding to this complexity, LearnVault brought up another major point, ingredient transparency, or rather a lack of it.
Always a concern. What do they find?
Apparently, some of the ingredients weren't clearly listed or were maybe described in vague terms, so people didn't really know exactly what they were putting on their teeth.
And that's just, well, it's not good enough, is it? Transparency is fundamental. How can you avoid allergens if you don't know what's in there?
Right.
How do you know if the active ingredients are even present in meaningful amounts? Things like proprietary blends sound fancy, but they hide information.
So it's not just about curiosity, it's about safety and making real choices.
Absolutely. And it ties into regulation, too. Is it classified as a cosmetic or a drug? Because that changes the rules about what has to be disclosed. Sometimes products making health claims, like cavity fighting, kind of fall into a gray area if they're primarily marketed as cosmetic whiteners.
That seems tricky?
It can be. Real informed consent means having the full picture.
Okay, so we've got the claims, the positive feedback, but also these significant downsides, lack of effect for some, irritation, and this transparency issue. So, the big question the review asked, legit or scam, where did LearnVault land?
Well, their conclusion was pretty clear, actually. They determined it's a real product, you can buy it, it exists. So, not a scam in the sense of being completely fake.
Okay, so it's real.
But, and this is a big, but it might not work as advertised for everyone. The effectiveness just isn't universal. And those adverse reactions are real too.
So not a scam, but maybe not the miracle product it's claimed to be. Handle with care.
Pretty much. The word scam doesn't quite fit, but universal effectiveness definitely doesn't either. Its performance seems really subjective.
Got it. So for listeners thinking, okay, maybe I'll still give it a try, or even just thinking about any new dental product, what's the takeaway advice from the review?
The advice was really practical, actually. Two main things.
Okay.
First, really look at that ingredient list. You can find it. Be skeptical of vague terms. Know what you're sensitive to. Do your homework.
Be your own detective.
Exactly. And second, maybe the most important piece, talk to your dentist before you try it.
The professional consultation.
Yes. Your dentist knows your mouth, your history, your sensitivity levels, your enamel health. They can give you personalized advice that no review, no marketing ever can. They can spot potential issues specific to you.
That makes perfect sense. Professional advice is key.
Absolutely crucial, especially when you're dealing with health claims.
Yeah.
It's not like choosing a shower gel,
Right. Okay, so wrapping this up. Today, we've really unpacked the MSDRWIKEY Whitening Toothpaste using that LearnVault review as our guide. We've seen the claims, the user reports, good and bad, and these critical points about irritation and transparency. Hopefully this gives you a much clearer picture.
Definitely. And I think this whole discussion, it really makes you think, doesn't it, about how we approach all these health and wellness products.
How so?
Well, it's a reminder to look past the shiny marketing, right? To question what's actually in the products we use every day, to demand that transparency. And fundamentally, to remember the value of actual professional medical or dental advice over, a flashy ad or even just anecdotal reviews.
That's a great point. It
Yeah.
encourages a more critical eye overall.
Yeah. How much do we really investigate the things we use daily, assuming they're fine just because they're on the shelf? It's a worthwhile question to ask yourself.
It really is. A fantastic thought to chew on, indeed. We hope this deep dive hasn't just informed you about one specific toothpaste, but maybe sharpened your perspective for evaluating all sorts of products out there.
Keep asking questions.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring.